If you're cruising to Alaska, one thing you're going to find is that not all Alaska cruise ports are created equal. And if you don't know what to expect, you could easily miss some of the most unforgettable moments of your entire cruise. Because here's the thing, some ports are perfect for exploring on your own right off the ship, and others require a plan, transportation, or even booking months in advance. And a few of them, they can cost you a lot more than you might expect if you don't go in prepared. So today we're breaking down every single major Alaska cruise port, what makes each one unique, what to do when you get there, and most importantly, how to make the most of your limited time in each stop. Hey cruisers, by the way, it's Sherry with Cruise Tips TV. If you're planning an Alaska cruise, this is one of the most important things you can understand before you go. Alaska is very different from the Caribbean. You're not just hopping off the ship into a little beach town and hanging out in the sand all day. You are stepping into wilderness, history, and some pretty incredible once-in-a-lifetime experiences. Now, most Alaska cruises include ports like Juneau, Skagway, Ketchikan, Sitka, and Icy Strait Point, also called ISP, and often a stop in Victoria, British Columbia on the way back. On a typical 7-day cruise, you'll visit about 3 to 5 ports, and you'll usually have somewhere between 4 or 8 hours to spend on shore in each one. Now, here's what makes this so important. Each port offers something completely different, so knowing what to expect ahead of time can really help you decide where to spend your time and maybe even your shore excursion money. Before we dive into each port, you guys, a quick tip for 2026. We have mentioned this in past videos, but it bears repeating. Alaska is more popular than ever right now. Those cruises are filling up earlier, excursions are selling out faster, prices have skyrocketed. So if there's something you want to do, like in one of those busy towns like Juneau, Skagway, even Ketchikan, if there's an excursion you have your heart set on, please, please book it early. All right, let's start with Juneau. Juneau is one of the most popular ports on an Alaskan cruise, and for a lot of people, it ends up being a highlight. I personally love Juneau. I feel like you can do so much in one day there. It's Alaska's capital, but it feels more like a remote mountain town surrounded by water and glaciers and, of course, beautiful mountains. Now, the big draw here is Mendenhall Glacier. It's one of the most accessible glaciers in Alaska, and you can get pretty close to it without even doing anything too extreme. There's a visitor center, walking trails, and even Nugget Falls, a short walk by if you want a little adventure. Juneau is also one of the best places for whale watching. If seeing humpbacks is on your list, this is a really good port to do it in. Now, the tours have a really high success rate for seeing whales, and you're often going to see other wildlife like sea lions and bald eagles and all kinds of marine life too. Now, if you're looking for something more bucket list level, Juneau is also where you're going to find helicopter tours, glacier landings, and even dog sledding on a glacier, which is so fun and worth saving the money for. We got to do this a few years ago and it was wonderful. These are amazing experiences, all of them, but they're also some of the most expensive excursions that you can do on your cruise. So can you explore Juneau on your own? Yeah, you totally can. You could just walk around the town, but there are some limitations. That downtown, like I said, really walkable. You can shop, you can grab a bite to eat, enjoy the waterfront right off the ship. But if you want to see Mendenhall Glacier or you want to go whale watching, you're going to need transportation or a tour. So this is one of those ports where it really helps to have a plan. Now, I want to tell you really quickly too that Juneau is one of those places where you can do a lot of stuff in one day. One year we did a salmon bake, the Mendenhall Glacier, and the Mount Roberts Tram all in one day. And it was so much fun. You can also do gold panning there. There's a lot to do. So book one of those combo excursions if you can, especially if you're only planning to go to Alaska once in your lifetime. Next up is Skagway. Skagway is completely different from Juneau. This port is all about history. It was a major hub during the Klondike Gold Rush. And when you walk through town, it really feels like you stepped back in time. you're going to see wooden sidewalks, historic buildings, and a lot of preserved character from that era. Now, the number one thing to do here is by far the White Pass and Yukon Route Railway. This is one of the most famous excursions in Alaska, and honestly, it is totally worth the hype. You ride a historic train up the mountains, and the views are incredible, you guys. Think cliffs, waterfalls, wide open wilderness. It is unbelievable. One of the best things about Skagway is that it is very easy to explore on your own. You can walk the entire town, visit museums, check out the Gold Rush Cemetery, or even hike to Lower Reed Falls without needing an excursion. My pick, though, is go to the Skagway Brewing Company and get yourself some beer. You gotta try the Spruce Tip Ale and let me know how you like it. All right, let's talk about Ketchikan. Ketchikan is known for its native culture, its colorful waterfront, and the totem poles. It's one of the easiest ports to explore right off the ship on foot, which makes it a favorite for a lot of cruisers. The shopping is great there. You can buy everything from chocolate to popcorn to knives that are made right there in Alaska. It's such a great spot. Now, one of the most popular spots here in Ketchikan is Creek Street. It is a historic boardwalk area built on stilts over the water, and it's full of shops and photo spots. There's like a rushing waterfall and a little bit of history. Ketchikan is also famous for its totem parks, where you can learn more about Alaska's native culture and see these incredible carved poles up close. If you're into wildlife, this is also a good place for bear viewing excursions, depending on the time of year. It's also a really good place to get out on the water. But overall, this is one of those ports where you can have a really great day if you want to, without spending a lot of money if you want to keep things simple and just walk around. Next is Sitka. Sitka feels a little more remote and less touristy than some of the other ports, and that's because it is. It has a really unique mix of Russian history, native culture, and natural beauty. Now, one thing to know about Sitka is that usually you don't dock right in town. You're probably going to need a shuttle to the main area. You might even take a tender boat to get ashore, which is something to plan for. Now, Sitka is a great place for wildlife experiences. You're going to find opportunities for bear viewing, sea otters, even puffins. And the whale watching is exceptional and totally worth the money, in my opinion. We did a private whale watching tour here one time. Well, semi-private. There was only one other couple on our boat, and we got so close to the whales that we could smell them. I know that sounds weird, but if this is something you experience, you're going to know what I mean. We also did a wave runner tour one time in Sitka, which was life-changing. If you ever get a chance to do that, get out on that water on a wave runner, please do it. It's also just a beautiful place to walk around and take in the scenery. Now, Sitka tends to feel a little more relaxed, which can be a nice change of pace. It's not frenetic. It doesn't have 6 or 7 cruise ships there in one day. It's beautiful, and you're going to love learning about the Russian history here. Now, let's talk about Icy Strait Point. Icy Strait Point is very different because it's actually a cruise-built destination that focuses on Alaska native culture and outdoor adventure. This is where you're going to find one of the largest zip lines in the world, known as the Zip Rider. It is fast, it is high, and is definitely a thrill. In fact, when you go on the Zip Rider, they're going to give you a full-on pair of goggles to wear for safety. It is so fast, so fun. It is a must-do, and I saw people of all ages doing this thing. If you're in for a thrill, you got to do it. There's also a nice little trail that you can just hike back and forth at Icy Strait Point around the coast. It's beautiful. You might also find some whale watching tours here, and this is another great place to spot wildlife. Now, Icy Strait Point, we'll call it ISP, is a little more excursion focused. So this is a good place to plan ahead if you want to take advantage of what it offers. You could just walk around. There's a pretty little fire pit and some places you can buy food and drinks and things like that. You could take the tramway and do just that, or you could book something and get out on the water that day. And finally, Victoria, British Columbia. Now, this is often a short evening stop on your cruise, but it's a really beautiful city. It's very walkable, and if you have time, Butchart Gardens is the big highlight here. If your stop is short, you can still enjoy a quick walk along the waterfront or explore the downtown area. Just take a taxi cab to that area and then walk around. If you have a little more time, though, you should consider trying a high tea. Victoria is renowned for its afternoon tea culture, and there's plenty of places to enjoy the tradition. Some popular spots include the Fairmont Empress and the Pendray Tea House. We've done both of those. And I also heard that there's something called Piggy and Paisley. Never tried it, but it sounds cool. I also wanted to quickly mention a couple of lesser known Alaska cruise ports that you might see on certain itineraries, and that would be Haines and Wrangell. These are not as commonly visited as ports like Juneau or Skagway, especially Wrangell, but that's actually part of what makes them special. Now, Haines is known for its laid-back, small-town feel and incredible access to nature. It's one of the best places in Alaska for wildlife viewing, especially if you're interested in seeing eagles or exploring more rugged, off-the-beaten-path scenery. Look for off-road tours here. Now, Wrangell is even quieter, and it offers a really authentic look at Southeast Alaska. It's where you're going to find things like petroglyph beaches, local culture, and a slower pace that feels very different from the busier cruise ports. It's also very, very rainy. Now, if your itinerary includes either of those lesser-known ports, you're in for something a little more unique. And if you want a deeper dive into all of these ports, along with everything else we talked about today, you guys, I have a full Alaska cruise ports guide for you in the description below. That guide goes into so much more detail on each port and helps you plan your days step by step. Now, before we wrap up, let's talk about a few quick planning tips that can make a huge difference. First, book your must-do excursions early, especially for Juneau and Skagway. Second, budget realistically. Alaska excursions can range from about $100 to $600 or even more per person per day, depending on what you choose to do. Third, always check your port times carefully and give yourself lots of time to get back to the ship. And finally, dress in layers, even in the summer. Alaska weather can change quickly, and you will be a lot more comfortable if you're prepared. Our Alaska cruise shopping list is in a barcode here on the screen and down in the description and pinned to the comments of this video for you. Alaska cruise ports, you guys, they're truly unforgettable, and a little bit of planning goes a long way in making sure you don't miss out on the experiences that matter the most to you. Whether you have the money to spend or you're on a budget, you're going to have a blast. If this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more cruise tips and travel inspiration. And I would love to hear from you. What Alaska cruise port are you most excited about? Thanks for watching, and until next time, we'll see you on the high seas.